Any man here that wants to walk away can do so knowing they're the best of us. But it's gotta be now. There is no ground support. The injuries we sustained, we're walking out with. Make no mistake about it. You guys need to own the fact that we do not have the flag on our shoulders. You cannot go back to your normal life after tonight.
Everything we've done for the last 17 years, with nothing to show for it. You've been shot 5 times for your country, and you can't even afford to send your kids to college. If we had accomplished half the things that we've accomplished in any other profession, we'd be set for life.
I'm your masters of war.
The question is, do we finally get to use our skills for our own benefit? We're gonna get Gabriel Martin Larea.
Aloha! This is Trinidad the Island Man, your Island Man, coming to you live from not Hawaii, not the island of Oahu, but here in Denver, in DIA, at the airport. I just got to town and wanted to give you my review of, a late movie that came out on Netflix. I haven't had the chance to go out and see anything as of yet, but I am working on it. It's currently Thursday, so there are a couple of things that are out. As you saw last week, I did not go see Dark Phoenix, which should right there tell you that automatically, to me, it's a shock of thumbs down because I didn't even want to waste any time or money going to take a chance on that movie. So, if I don't see a movie, it's usually because I'm not interested in it, because I believe it's a shock of thumbs down already. So I just say, forget it. But, this gave me a chance during that week before Men in Black International and Shaft Part 3 comes out this weekend to review something I've been meaning to watch on Netflix, Triple Frontier. Now, this stars Pedro Pascal, Ben Affleck, Oscar Isaac, and Charlie Hunnam, as ex-military special forces soldiers who decide to use their skills to go ahead and, basically steal from a drug cartel down in Colombia. Now, in doing so, they unfortunately run into many, many problems. And let me just say, remember our rating scale, shock a thumbs up. It's good to see, I recommend it. Shock a thumbs down, it's bad to see, it's junk, I don't recommend it. And for Triple Frontier, I have to say, it is a shock a thumbs down. You might have heard something about this. It came out like several months ago. Like I said, I've been meaning to try to catch it and watch it, but I just hadn't had the chance, and so I downloaded it and watched it on the flight here to Denver. And, it's a shame because, there's so many great actors, Pedro Pascal, Ben Affleck, Oscar Isaac, all do remarkable in this movie, playing off one another. And the story is a fascinating story. Special force, special ops, ex-military soldiers going down, basically becoming mercenaries for their own gain to steal money from a drug kingpin cartel leader down there, and try to get away with over $250 million, essentially. Unfortunately, as exciting as that sounds, paramilitary operatives going down, taking on the drug cartel, again, it just, I don't know what it was with this story. When they wrote it, when they made the movie, the excitement just isn't there, very much like Sicario 2, I felt. Whereas they had this great idea, a great potential for action, but yet they kind of sort of just dropped the ball. And to be fair, they could feel that, hey, they're making up for it with, you know, the wonderful interplay between these characters, you know, which there is. I mean, they're great actors in themselves, doing wonderful jobs. You know, and when they're on screen together, you know, it really shows, you know, in their beautiful performances. And the scenery is fantastic as well. Although not filmed in Colombia, you and I, there on the island of Hawaii, will notice the Colau Mountains filling in, as they usually do in most movies, for Colombia or for the jungles of Peru or South America. They're at Colau, the mountains, and you see them driving down H3 into the interstate tunnel, pretending that that is, of course, somewhere in the deep, dark jungles of Colombia. So I'm not sure where they show or film the snowy portions of that as they try to ascend the Andes, but it's definitely not the real Andes. But yeah, so essentially this turns out to be a slow burn of a movie. There are some small action scenes in it where they initially steal the money and they're making a run for it to try to get out of the country. But mainly it is a story, it was kind of a slower paced story burn, talking about, you know, what it means to be a soldier, what it means to basically sell out your values for money, you know, and maybe, you know, in the end, remember exactly what you're fighting for and who you were meant to be, you know, in the end, essentially. So, you know, although it is a shock of thumbs down, you know, if you got Netflix, it is an entertaining enough movie. Again, the actors' performances in this are all great. Even Charlie Hunnam does a fantastic job. And if he continues to surround himself with these A-quality actors, Ben Affleck, Oscar Isaac, Pedro Pascal, you know, his height is only going to raise up higher, you know, as he's played off of all these guys and does great throughout the story in the movie. And it does have some surprise endings in the end. However, just not, you know, what you're looking for in a paramilitary kind of, you know, action-packed, you know, mercenary kind of scenario movie, which, you know, with a name like Triple Frontier, you know, despite the beautiful scenery, these, like I said, these military, you know, special forces operatives, drug cartel, it's just a little bit lighter than what I thought action-wise, and so that's why I give it a shock of thumbs down. But again, if you have Netflix, you know, you're not losing anything but the 2 hours to watch this movie. And if you're especially ex-military or active military, you will gain a great insight into this movie and feel a bond between it and the characters as they progress through their problems throughout this movie. So I would say it is worth watching on Netflix. If it was at the movies, I definitely wouldn't say see it, and like me, don't see it right away. But if you've got nothing better to do, you're stuck on the flight, on the airplane, you want to watch something, and you get into those military kind of movies, you know, this is right up your alley, despite the shock of thumbs down for Triple Horizons on Netflix. Again, I just thought it was going to be a little bit more action-packed, say like Tears of the Sun with Bruce Willis that came out a little earlier, and it kind of starts to track in that direction at the very beginning and into the second act. However, ultimately it really switches gears and just kind of becomes more of a internalized drama, you know, with people dealing with their own demons other than the external, you know, bad guys, good guys kind of a scenario. All right, thank you so much. This is Trinidad, the Island Man, your Island Man, here in Denver, Colorado, giving Triple Frontier ultimately a shock of thumbs down. But, you know, if you've got time on your hands and Netflix already, you might as well watch it because you're not losing nothing. All right, thank you so much, and aloha.